How did the ongoing conflict affect production and your approach to the filmmaking process as a whole?
Very heavily because I mean the industry was totally destroyed in the beginning. A lot of people go abroad and they just leave the country. Some of them still work as like active elements of the other countries' production systems. Some of them just change the profession. And in Ukraine, as it no more government support for the filmmaking for 3 years and a half, a lot of people also change the profession just to survive.
Valentyn Volodymyr, how are you guys doing today?
Amazing, thank you.
We are at TIFF for To the Victory. That is an amazing, amazing accomplishment, you guys. Please tell me how the festival has been going for you.
Uh, Probably I answer because I'm here in Toronto and Valentyn is still, in Kiev. So yeah, I like it. I like the screenings. I like the people reaction on it, and I like that our basic idea to make some kind of like comedy about very sad topics and very complicated circumstances is probably work. And Valentyn's initial idea was to create some kind of film, when the kind of adult people really, behave somehow like teenagers at some point. So
Truly.
in the face of really adult problems, they behave a little bit different. So yes,
Right.
once.
Right. And I completely understand that. I feel like something about being acting a little bit younger can make you feel a little bit more safe inside of your body. So it totally made sense.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like we have a scene on the roof, for example, when Valentyn is fighting with his friends, and both of them, like very old men, like, oh my back, oh I'm sorry.
Literally. Totally. Valentyn, I have a question for you. In this film, you play Roman, a struggling filmmaker trying to make movies in post-war Ukraine, while your wife and your daughter live abroad. How much of your story reflects Roman's story or your colleagues' experiences as well in the Ukrainian film industry right now?
Валічик, те ж саме питання, наскільки багато в цій історії, власне, тебе,
Мгм.
і наскільки багато твоїх друзів, тобто
Мгм.
теж
Тут,
брав
тут,
цей
тут, да, в цій історії, скажімо так, є весь я і є всі мої друзі. От. Це є колективна біографія, колективний досвід, колективна історія, яка відбувається зі мною, відбувається з моїми друзями досі. І поштовхом до початку роботи над цією історією була така драматична історія розлучення мого найближчого друга Влада, котрого ви можете бачити у фільмі. Я просто спостерігав, як це все відбувається, і на той самий момент також мав сім'ю за кордоном.
Yeah, so basically, this is kind of collective experience in a way, and collective trauma. Let's put it this way, of Valentyn and all of our friends and our relatives and so on. And the initial push of the story, it was the story of Vladik. You can see him on the screen as the closest friend of Valentyn in the real life as well. Which family was destroyed by war because they live far away and they got divorced, and it was very dramatic. And Valentyn support him on each stage of it, and it's some other of our friends who also got the same problem, and Valentyn just make from this like kind of collective experience. Let's put it this way.
Right. Okay, so like you're bringing on your friends from the industry too.
Sure.
Help tell the story. Nice. This film explores economic hardship and painful reality of families separated by war. What drew you to explore this specific aspect of post-war reconstruction?
Після війни.
Я зрозумів, найбільшою проблемою буде не там відбудова зруйнованих, скажімо так, об'єктів економічних, інфраструктурних. Найбільша проблема буде в тому, що чи захочуть повертатися додому люди, котрі виїхали за кордон і довгий час там жили і вже адаптувалися. і котрі розуміють, що по поверненню додому їх будуть чекати непрості часи, і чи не залишаться вони там, і чи не вийдуть до них чоловіки, котрі пройшли війну, і хто буде взагалі жити в цій країні, ну чи будуть люди в ній, це найбільша проблема. А фінанси, там відбудова, це вже на другому
Yeah.
плані.
Mhm. Okay, so the Valentyn biggest fear is not about the finances at all. It's not about the reconstruction of destroyed buildings. It's much more about the depopulated territory, because the families which lives abroad for many years already. It's 3.5 years, and they set up the new life there. They have a job. They have a new cultural things, and their children went to the local schools. And when the war will over and this man who has come back from the war just joins them, it's hard to imagine that all of them come back, because they understand that in Ukraine they will still have a lot of things to do to rebuild everything. It's going to be really hard times for them, and otherwise in Europe they can, or some other countries like in Canada as well, in States, they can have the completely different and much more comfortable life. And the biggest question is who gonna live in the country. That's the biggest issue and the biggest question for all of us. That's what we are thinking of.
I completely understand that. This entire movie is, it's pretty heavy, even though there's a lot of like comedic elements to it.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know how Valentyn explored finding this character wearing so many hats as like the director, the editor, the writer, the lead actor, you know.
Yeah. Валічик, це дуже складне кіно, не дивлячись на там комедійні якісь елементи. У тебе щось не дуже картинка. Важко тобі було зуміщувати всі ці багато ролей, які в тебе є? Ось, тобто і режисера, і сценариста, і оператора, і актора перший раз.
Ну, я вже мав досвід в попередніх фільмах одночасно закривати декілька посад, скажімо так, в кіновиробництві. До цього додалося тільки акторський дебют мій. І так, звісно, це трошки ускладнювало сприйняття після дублю оцінки того, що ти тільки що зіграв в кадрі, тому що після гри, перебування перед камерою, у тебе трошки змінюється твій емоційний фон, і ти не можеш дуже швидко заспокоїтись, скажімо так, і оцінити, що ж ти награв. І для цього потрібен час. Звісно, ти відчуваєш, коли там все вийшло і все вийшло суперово, це одразу видно. Але так, на жаль, не завжди буває, і треба потім день-два після зйомки, щоб взагалі змогти оцінити, вибрати дубль. Це єдина проблема, що ти знаходишся в неспокійному стані і не можеш оцінити результат роботи. Це найбільша проблема.
Okay. So basically, Valentyn said that for him it wasn't new to, work as a like multitask hero, and he did it in his previous film. He loved it because that allows him to have a full creative control on the film. At the end of the day, he can say, yes, that's my film, because I control all the aspect of it. And this time he added just the acting, and he enjoyed it a lot. But only problem was, for him, it was from time to time, it was quite hard to, somehow understand is this take is great or not, because you are in it.
Right.
It was complicated to judge from time to time, but basically he got a lot of pleasure to work as an actor as well. Yeah, he loves it.
Oh my God. Good. Well, he's a natural, so.
Yeah, thank you. Ти дуже натуралістичний, так що
Дякую.
такий комплімент.
You're welcome. Volodymyr, you have a unique role serving as the real producer and Roman's on-screen producer. How did this meta-theatrical element come about, and what was it like essentially playing yourself?
I mean, it was quite easy because we're not that much playing. I mean, Valentyn usually gives the actors some kind of lines, but these lines are just a initial step to start thinking about it, because we're not professional actors, so we are quite old. We can't remember all the words which is written.
Yeah.
So it's always some element of improvising in it, and it's why it's making that so like natural because you're natural in it. You just play himself in a little bit different circumstances. That's why. And I also have a lot of fun, to be honest. So I
Yeah.
think all of us, and why this project is very important for us, because all of us got some kind of new experience, and we really enjoyed doing it, because it was a truly, friendship production. We was all together, all friends, and we can spend time together to discuss anything, and it was really great.
Nice. Do you feel like part of the process, and this is a question for you both, was almost healing bringing it on screen?
Все одно ти екранний, ти в житті це геть різні люди, і, скажімо, екранний образ він будується по певним канонам, котрі, скажімо так, е, ну, не те, щоб не прийняті, котрі не працюють в реальному житті. Тому я є герой, я є зроблений герой, я є штучний герой, от, збудований за певними правилами, щоб взагалі історія відбулася. От. Але
Мгм.
мені досить важко дивитись на себе в кіно на екрані, тому що досить, скажімо так, ну, досить таке, ну, інтимне кіно вийшло, і певний дискомфорт я від цього відчуваю, дійсно.
Hmm. So yeah, for Valentyn, despite of the fact that he's playing almost himself, he's like his hero on the screen. Of course, it's a different person than Valentyn itself, because he builds this hero, following some kind of the rules which just create the heroes on the screen. And but from time to time, he feels this discomfort that it's not him. It's different persons who behave in a different manner that Valentyn usually do, and take the different decisions that Valentyn never will, take.
Yeah.
And he feels this discomfort that people can think that it's him, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is.
Last night at the Q&A, Volodymyr, you spoke a little bit about this, but I want to tap back into it again. Ukraine is still actively at war, and that presents unprecedented challenges in the filmmaking process. How did the ongoing conflict affect production and your approach to the filmmaking process as a whole?
Uh, Very heavily, because I mean the industry was totally destroyed in the beginning. A lot of people go abroad, and they just leave the country. Some of them still work as like active elements of the other countries' production systems. Some of them just change the profession. And in Ukraine, as it no more government support for the filmmaking, for 3 years and a half, a lot of people also change the profession just to survive. And some people went to the front line. Some people have been, killed, and some of them was heavy wounded, and it's quite complicated. Of course, some of the studios try now to produce some kind of commercial films. It is some local comedies which still produced a bit, and of course, Ukraine now is a golden mine of documentary films. So there's a lot of the companies producing and doing the documentaries. We're not the big fan of documentaries with Valentyn for the moment, so we are more on the fiction side. And for fiction films, it's totally disaster, because all of the system builds on the co-production, which means that you have to bring something to the common table, and then the other participant also can bring their pieces of the cake. So it's not working when you don't have nothing to bring on the table except of the story, no money. So that's why it's super complicated now to do the fiction film, and our film is super rare example of the art house film which created during the war.
Right, right. And did you find it difficult to balance like the artistic side with the realities of like creating such politically charged content too? I understand that there's a lot of like documentary style film going on, which
Sure.
is cool that you were able to like make it fiction in a almost nonfiction way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, did you find that difficult to balance?
You mean balance between
Like
fiction?
the artistic side and then also just like the creation of the project and even like
Oh yeah.
distribution of the film.
Yeah, sure. Because I mean, it was first experience when we don't have no money in
Yeah.
Ukraine, and it was extremely hard, because I mean we have a super small crew. which almost no paid because otherwise we'll never make this film happen. So it's kind of exclusion. It's not the I don't think it could be the main road for Ukrainian cinema. And artistic wise, it was very hard to find the proper tone, the proper language for telling the story during the war, because we are telling that everything has happened after the war is over, and it was quite complicated to try to find the proper language for it. I mean, cinematic language, and so I don't know I will succeed, but I mean, we honestly try.
Yeah. Right. I want to jump back a little bit. You
Yeah.
were talking about the Ukrainian like cinema industry, and I know that you guys have gained a lot of international attention since 2022. From your perspective, how has the global spotlight affected the opportunities of Ukrainian filmmakers? And then also, you hit on a lot of challenges, but you could also hit on some more if you have others you want to list.
Sure, sure.
Ти мається на увазі підтримки міжнародної країні чи кіноіндустрії?
Країни, да, країни. Нас підтримували, нас там всячески цей. А
Ні, ну
як
звісно.
це змінилося зараз і як це сказується на виробництві фільмів?
Ну, слухай, звісно, що емоційно підтримка на початку війни була більш потужною, ніж, скажімо, відчувається зараз. Ну, звісно, це нормально, бо минув час, всі, в принципі, там наші проблеми набридли. Є люди, котрі розуміють, що їх треба вирішувати і потрошки допомагають, але, на жаль, цього недостатньо, і треба мати сміливість, щоб визнати те, що цю війну можна закінчити виключно силовим тиском на Росію, і для цього треба досить багато ресурсів. От.
Угу.
Можливо, з часом це розуміння з'явиться, тому що його не просто так, скажімо, прийняти цю думку.
Окей.
Щодо кіна, ну ти ж сам все знаєш, там декілька фондів, котрі нас підтримують, і все. Чи будуть вони далі, не зрозуміло.
Mm-hmm. So basically, if we talk about the like international support, of course we feel that it was super great in the beginning when the world was shocked with this invasion, because it's 21st century. Nobody can imagine that this kind of war it's possible still, and we understand that emotionally it's very hard to be like several years connected to this issue, and we totally understand that people abroad they just really get tired. They have their own problems, and now if you can see the people much more care about the Israel and Gaza conflict, which is also kind of fair. But it's also we should dare to say that we should take the fact that the problem is still on the table. It couldn't be decided by diplomatic way, alas, because Russians don't want to. I mean, they don't have any reasons why they should do it in a diplomatic way. So, which drive us to the conclusion that it should be decided in the war way, which takes a lot of resources, not only from us but still from the other countries. Alas, just to make it. How to say, just to not give the example for other countries, authoritarian countries or totalitarian countries, that they can do whatever they want because it's no rules in the world anymore, and you can do whatever you want. If you're more stronger, you can enslave any other nation easily, and nobody can say nothing to you. They will still have business as usual. So it's quite a complicated decision we should comes to, and we should take it as a strategically things. And of course it's not that much easy, but we don't see any other point. We don't see any other way to finish this conflict. From the other side, it is if we talk about the cinema support, of course it was a lot of support in the beginning, and of course it's much less now. But the biggest issue is the absence of the government support, because it's in the system of co-production, European co-production system, it's absolutely necessary part. And now it's just a couple of funds which support us, but they are kind of pop-up fund, like the European Solidarity Fund. It's fund which renew every year, and it's some other European country which gives small amount of money to help Ukrainian cinema. And we don't know every year is it still happen or not. And that's the biggest issue. This uncertainness. It's something which is, the biggest problem for us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry. I completely understand.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
No, that's okay. Valentyn, you described To the Victory as a comedy and a tragedy. How did you balance these tonal elements, and what role does dark humor play in processing the realities that you're depicting?
Дуже важливо, надзвичайно важливо. Найважчі, найтрагічніші історії можна розповісти, ставлячись в першу чергу до себе іронічно і взагалі до подій з точки зору, скажімо, безкінечності. Все це, ну, по великому рахунку, як то кажуть, суєта. От і тому в цій історії я хотів, хоча все це дуже важко, дуже я бачу, як це відбувається з друзями, як вони переживають, і дуже важко про це говорити в принципі, але тим не менше я все ж таки вирішив розказати це за допомогою комедії. Не знаю, чи вдалося мені до кінця. Це, ну, в принципі, я не знаю. Ну,
So Valentyn said that for him the humor is very important, and it's only one thing which really keep you,
Yeah,
on.
going.
Yeah, just going on with just circumstances. So humor is always on the front line when the people really on the edge of the death and life. So people jokes are very sometimes very cynical,
Yeah.
because this is our psychological reaction on stress,
Mhm.
and that's how it works. So for Valentyn also it's very important, even in those circumstances, to keep the bright mind and to keep the sense of humor even in those kind of dark times. Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. Valentin again, Roman's aging father has a demeanor that's sourced from everything that he's survived, which seems central to the story. How does the intergenerational dynamic inform the film's perspective on Ukraine's future?
ні, я не мав цього на
Гарне
увазі.
питання.
Я окей. Що я просто хотів показати звичний такий етап переходу вже дорослих героїв в геть дорослий стан. Тобто, коли вони ну, лишаються фактично без батьків, вони, скажімо так, стають першими на черзі. От і це є такий вже передфінальний перехід, коли вони дійсно мусять подорослішати. От і оця історія з татом. Річ у тім, що там і я втратив не так давно вже тата, і Влад також втратив. І це для нас знов таки це така історія 50-літніх людей, котрі мусять це пройти, пережити. І це як частина нашого життя, так само, як і стосунки з дітьми, втрата батьків. І, тобто це для, скажімо так, показу більш об'ємного персонажа.
So Valentyn's father in this movie, like not Roman's character of the father, I mean, it's played very important role because it shows the natural circle of life in a way when when your parents is gone and you became next to the line somehow, and you should take it at some point, and you should take that you are all alone here, that you should behave as adult finally. So it's even if you're 50 years old guy, I mean, who is quite immature, at some point you should take responsibility for your own life and for life of your children, because it's no one who can support you anymore like your parents usually do. And during the war, that Valentyn lost his father, and Vladimir has also lost his father, and they also would like to somehow show that it's
Hi, it's me from the future. There is a portion towards the end of the video, maybe like 9 or 10 minutes, where Valentyn is not seen or heard. He was in the call the entire time, but his audio track didn't fully sync to the software. So his audio was removed for the last portion, and so was the video portion of him. He's there the entire time, but you won't be seeing him anymore after this point. Vladimir is still answering for him. I don't know why it didn't work though.
how would you say, it's you feel yourself like an orphan in a way, when you lost your parents, and it doesn't
Like
matter
a
how old you are.
sacrifice.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how old. That's the point.
I totally understand that too. That was really cool scene. I loved the scene and the graveyard. I love the graveyard scene. I feel like that was a sort of like passing the baton almost, or
Yeah.
like having him like stand up. So
Yeah, yeah.
I
Мені
like
дуже
it.
подобається. So he just would like to say that this scene on the graveyard when his father somehow hiding behind the trees and Valentyn feels that he is alone now. I mean, it was a real life with his real father because Valentyn is always keep his camera with him and he is shoot some moments from his life just for him. And it was a real situation when they went to, you know, uh, to visit the
The
grandmother of
grave.
Valentyn. Yeah, and then Valentyn is shooting his father during, you know, he tried to find this place, and he's really hiding behind the tree. And Valentyn finds that this could be a metaphor for the, you know, for us here in this world somehow. So he just reshoots this scene.
Wow. That's so cool. I love how art imitates life. For you both, you've been collaborating on this dystopian trilogy, which began with Atlantis and Reflection and is ending with To the Victory. How does this final film serve as both a culmination and a departure for the themes of the trilogy?
Валічик, фактично ти закінчив трилогію цим фільмом, да, таку утопічну трилогію, скажімо так. А скажи, будь ласка, чому саме цим фільмом і як ти тепер, оглядаючись назад, сприймаєш, ну, що ти зробив саме трилогію? Що це фактично завершений шлях. So Valentyn said that it's for him he not planned to make a trilogy. I mean he just realized that the war is such a strong event that you can't pretend that it's not exist,
Yeah.
and because it's affect all the you know spheres of your life. I mean all the levels in your life and relationship and everything. It's impossible to you know to just take it off from the picture. So and he not planned it as a trilogy. It happens this way, and he don't know now if the war is coming. Maybe it's not gonna be end as a trilogy. So he don't know which his new film is gonna be about and when it's gonna be shot and is it war is still ongoing at this moment. So that's the point.
And what about you? Do you have anything to say on that?
For me,
Yeah.
from us, yeah, I mean, totally agree with Valentin. I just think that, you know, we have a very, I just think, you know, it's kind of, probably it sounds weird, but I mean, it's also somehow for us, it's how we became adult as a nation, you know, because in 1994 we got independence for free. I mean, we don't have any war, anything. It just happened, and it's happened not because of our willings that much, but because of just of circumstances. And then at some point we should, you know, it's always, you know, you have to pay at some point for everything. So
Yeah.
that's probably our moment of truth because as a society we're not paying that much attention to build of Ukrainian culture for the 30 something years of independence. And it's a great example when you not that much concentrate, when you concentrate on the society of prosperity, where you don't have any kind of cultural things in it. Probably it's something which you know have at the end of the day, and I feel that now we're on the very important point of our existence in Ukraine when we became more adults and when we became more mature as a nation, or we disappear. That's my take off from it.
Well, I know that it wasn't planned to have this trilogy be what it is, but what kinds of Ukrainian stories do you believe need to be told next?
Uh-huh.
And for
Okay.
both of you.
Great. So Valentine said that the most priced things now is a documentary materials which we get from the you know body cameras of the soldiers, which we get from the stories from the people who you know on front line and so on, because it's something which we can capture forever and which we can come back after, you know, when we try to reflect on what's happened to us later. So that's probably the most important things we could do here and now. But if we say about it like more widely, he thinks that it should be all the types of the cinema exist still, despite of the facts that we have a war. I mean, and some of kind of entertainment content, and some of the like art house films like which we do, or it could be some kind of propaganda films from Valentyn's side. I disagree with it, but it's his point of view. And so yeah, basically for him it's like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I also think that we not should be just crying all the time and say how bad our life is.
Mhm.
It should be exist some other films, of course, and documentary is really important as a document of the time we live in. I quite disagree with propaganda things. I think it's never worked, to be honest, because people is really don't want to consume it, and with the war films. The best war films is anti-war films. We just can't afford it now. And all the films say that it's bad to kill other people, and but not in the middle of the war. And I think that the propaganda will never work. But we need some time to reflect what's happened with us, just to understand it, and then we could create really great films about it later. A bit.
Yeah,
Thank you very
1000%.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And bringing to the victory to TIFF represents a major international platform. How important are festivals like TIFF for the Ukrainian cinema's global reach?
I think it's crucial because that's probably the only way how our voice could be,
Heard.
yes. I mean, it's just only one way we still have, and we don't have such a great distribution system. We're just small part of the world film industry, which is absolutely normal. But the festivals could, put it in the spotlight, and that's why for us it's very crucial. We're very grateful that we have a possibility to show to Canadian and to international guests here in Toronto. That's why we are so happy.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for really great question. It was a big pleasure and honor to talk to you.
of
Thank you.
course. And same to you guys. Thank you. Have a great
Th-
rest of your
Thank
week.
you. Yeah, take care. Bye bye.
Bye.